Okay, we are live for what is, I'm very sad to say, the final of the regularly scheduled Séamus Ennis Arts Centre Zoom sessions. It has been an absolute pleasure to be with you on a monthly basis for well over a year now. And yeah, I'm feeling I'm going to get a bit emotional by the time we get back. In any case, I'm sure everybody in this Zoom room has done one of these before, but I'll just run over the format. So we are all here in Zoomland. We have to run this in a one singer, one song style. So effectively, I'll be moving through the various participants, presuming that everybody wants to sing, and just asking in a cross section who would like to sing and sending a little private message in advance of that to make sure that's okay. If you were here last month and didn't get to sing, please message me. And we'll make sure to get you up this time. I would usually say, if you don't get to sing this month, don't worry, we'll get you to sing next month. I'm not sure I can make that guarantee this time around, unfortunately. As we go on, please use the chat if you want to send some words of encouragement or discuss the origins of songs or anything like that. That would be most welcome. We have a couple of guests with us this evening. They are just some of the very loyal following we've had here in the Séamus Ennis Arts Centre for over the last year. They are Gavin Byrne, Linn Phipps, Alberta Lathan, and Joe O'Connor. It wasn't easy to whittle it down to 4 people. I just had to, pick a couple of people who could fill in and who've shown their loyalty over the years. There was many more I could have picked, so it's nothing personal. But we are very, very happy to have them with us, and we just thought it'd be a very nice gesture to put it back on their loyalty for the very, very last one, and find a way to say thank you. I should also say it is Alberta Lathan's birthday today, so not only is she singing the guest session, it is also her birthday. So if people could offer her some well wishes in the chat there, and who knows, we might sing a song in her honour later on. Anyway, in any case, we'll get this going. I have called 3 singers to begin the session. They are Anne Reekie, Mick Dunn, and Doug Huggins. So I will get Anne in and unmuted. Anne, I've asked to unmute you. You have to accept my unmuting.
It's me unmuted.
We have you. How are you, Anne?
Oh, very well, considering everything. All my tears trying to get a nap downloaded onto my phone, but that's another story. This song was originally translated from the Gaelic by Roddy McMillan, a Scottish actor and playwright who was, in my opinion, the best ever para-handy on the Vital Spark, if you know that at all. It's called I Will Go. It's not the original version. I've jiggled it a bit. I will go, when the fighting is over, to the land of my birth, that I left to be a soldier. I will go, I will go. I've a buckle to my belt, a rifle on my shoulder, I've hope in my heart, and a shilling in my pocket. I will go, I will go. When we landed on the shore and saw the foreign heather, we knew that some would fall and would stay there forever. I will go, I will go, I will go, I will go. When the fighting is over, to the land of my birth, that I left to be a soldier. I will go, I will go. There's a mountain, there's a glen, there's a wild roaring river, there's a joy beyond compare, where my heart will rest forever. I will go, I will go. Will the marching never cease? Is the bugle eye resounding? Will it never come to peace? And the songs of home resounding? I will go, I will go, I will go, I will go. When the fighting is over, to the land of my birth, that I left to be a soldier, I will go, I will go. There's a right and there's a wrong, and the wrong must have a righting, but when will they learn that it can't be done with fighting? I will go, I will go. When we came back to the glen, the winter was turning, our goods lay in the snow, and our houses were burning. I will go, I will go. When the fighting is over, to the land of my birth, that I left to be a soldier, I will go, I will go.
Fabulous singing, Anne. Thank you so much. That was great. Okay, we shall move. Mick Dunn. Sorry, I realised I had myself muted there. You would think after all this time I would I would know how to unmute myself before speaking. But Mick Dunn is up next. How are you, Mick?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a small bit sad to be bidding farewell, but we'll get a good night out of it nonetheless.
Well, here goes nothing. You may talk of your outings, your picnics and parties, your dinners and dances and hoolies and all, but wait till I tell you of the gas that we had on the night that we went to the Char Ladies' Ball. I went there as Queen Anne and I went with me man. He was dressed as a monkey locked up in a cage. There was pierrettes and pierrots and hottentots and whatnots and stars that you'd see on the music hall stage. At the Char Ladies' Ball, people said one and all, you're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan. We had 1 steps and 2 steps and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again be dad. We had wine, porter and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We had rumbos and tangos, half sets and fandangos the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. There was cowboys and Indians that came from Drumcondra, Sweet Francis Street, fairies, all diamonds and stars. There was one of the Roonies as the clock over Moonies, and a telegram boy as a message from Mars. Mary Moore from the Lots was the Queen of the Scots, with a crown out of Woolworth perched up on her dome. There was young Jemmy Whitehouse, came dressed as a lighthouse, on a Camden Street garbo that should have stayed home. At the Char Ladies' Ball, people said one and all, you're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan. We had 1 steps and 2 steps and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again be dad. We had wine, porter and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We had champagne that night, but we'd real pain next morning, the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. Mary Ellen O'Rourke was the Queen of the Dawn. By 1:30 she looked like a rail dirty knight. Mickey Farton the bester came dressed as a jester. He burst his balloon and dropped dead with the fright. Kevin Barr came as Bowerdle stops that sinking feeling, astride of a bottle, pyjamas and all.
Mick Dunn, a pro as ever. Fabulous, fabulous. Up the bleeding dubs. Thanks for being here, Mick.
How about it?
Fabulous. Okay, we will head over to Doug Huggins now, who tells me he might have a little guest with him on this song. How are you, Doug?
Grand. Thank you, Dara. Very happy to be here, and sorry to hear that this is going to be changing again. I'd like to have Lynn join me. We're going to do I believe, a Napoleonic period song. Are you there, Lynn?
I'm young.
Alrighty, I think I kicked this one off.
You do.
Oh, hark, the drums do beat, my love, I can no longer stay. The bugle horns are sounding clear, and we must march away. We are ordered down to Portsmouth, and it's many's the weary mile to join the British Army on the banks of the Nile.
Oh, Johnny, my love, Johnny, don't leave me here to mourn. Don't make me curse and rue the day that ever I was born. For parting with my love would be like parting with my life. So stay at home and do not roam, and I will be your wife.
Oh, Nancy, lovely Nancy, sure that would never do. For the captain he has ordered, and we are bound to go. We must forsake our sweethearts, likewise our native soil, for we are bound on oath to serve on the banks of the Nile.
But I'll cut off my yellow hair and go along with you. I'll dress myself in uniform, and I'll see Egypt too. I will march beneath your banner, while fortune does smile, and we'll comfort one another on the banks of the Nile.
But your waist it is too slender, and your fingers they are too small, and the burning suns of Egypt your rosy cheeks would spoil. For the cannons they do rattle, and the bullets they do fly, and the silver trumpets sound so loud to hide the dismal cries.
Oh, cursed be those cruel wars, however they began, for they have robbed our country of many's a handsome man. They have robbed us of our sweethearts, now their bodies they feed the lions. On the burning sandy on the banks of the Nile.
Sinead, thank you.
Oh, fabulous. I will never tire of hearing a duet, particularly from you two. Thanks so much for that.
Oh, thanks, Dara.
Excellent. Okay, I've arranged for Pippa Noble to sing next. Pippa, I've asked to unmute you. How are you, Pippa?
I'm very well, thank you. I mean, I'm really pleased for you that you're able to think about meeting in real life, as it were. And sure. I'm sad for the rest of us that are still in our little boxes. But yes, that's it. Thank you so much for organising it, and it's been lovely to have this community. So, I was if this hadn't been the last one for now, I wouldn't have done this song tonight. But if I don't do it now, then you'll see why. It'll and I'll stop burbling. I'll just do it. But I'm yeah. This is me right out on the edge there, and see. Well, I'll stop it because I'm just getting myself a bit nervous. So we'll see if my fingers slow down instead of just jumping around. This song would never have happened if it hadn't been for the pandemic, and I've had lots of help with it. So I have to say that as well. So. Chucky and Sarah August Fasig and Fan Chucky down your glass have on a grave Chucky my head shark leban one leg August bulling she so was like this song is the song of Carme do and the so Calamaro and the farm Al yakun harbi on Lucian Knock away my janag Yasser Scart me rag on Doris May rich Damaru and good child She dirt to mommy long dog row she on dog like she relish on dark August Bangala Gown a willing society Saga Gwynla knock will I go I quit morrow Takaragas fe ako erin rankawai She ma van fe na gon van is far Ta blasphemy he agus bulabra she and Posey all any Tatalia. You may hear August, you may Corky agus Ballia or clear. You may while you shop we go the blame. I gave him a story now and August blood on Arica knock be a she a tag our leader may his the vila star. Dog she era while you show me again abroad. Is gone doing a flag all summer no. Slán le Zoom griffer is gonna gum okay. Mar Hampshire Farraga Road Aracus May Poor Hig May Fortune Sarah Ferry. Thank you.
Glóte fada chara. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You're full of surprises, Pippa Noble. Full of surprises. I bet you've been working on that one a little while, had you?
Just a little while, yeah. Yeah, but thank you everybody for everything.
Thank you so much, Pippa, and thank you for your loyalty to us over the last while. It's been great to have you month in, month out. Fabulous. Okay, up next we're going to hear from Iona Ritchie. Iona, I'm going to ask to unmute you. How's Iona?
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad at all. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You must be started in college by now, are you?
Yeah, I have. I'm in UCC for music and English.
Oh, fabulous.
So I'm having a great time. I'm going to sing a Fermanagh song, I think, called Ballycon Affair.
Beautiful.
Two brothers bold called Pat and Mick, who lived near Derry Linn. They had a darling springing cow that they called Mary Jane. But hay was scarce and cash was scarce and both their suits threadbare. So Mary Jane, she had to go to Ballycon Fair. The morning of the fair arrived, a shocking fog and mist came rolling down the hills of Doon, you couldn't see your fist. Says Pat to Mick, you walk in front and I'll bring up the rear, with Mary Jane between us both to Ballycon Fair. At Gartery now, Mary Jane, she played an awful trick. She slipped into a by-road there unknown to Pat or Mick. She ate a feed from Drum's haystack and then she made her lair, while Pat and Mick they welted on to Ballycon Fair. They reached the green at 8:30, approaching daylight. The fog had lifted all at once, the drovers hove in sight. Says Pat to Mick, where's Mary Jane? I can't see her nowhere. By the Holy Lord, it was me you drove to Ballycon Fair. Now both men dead, God rest their souls, but still the story's told. Around the fires in Derry Linn, enjoyed by young and old. And children ask when going to bed and climbing up the stairs, was it Pat drove Mick, or Mick drove Pat to Ballycon Fair? Thank you.
Haha, fabulous. A song sung by, I believe, the late father of Cahill and Mickey and all their other McConnells. Cahill, believe it or not, he was a guest on the session, but he's been in Dublin and in the Séamus Ennis Arts Centre this week for an upcoming project, but we'll keep hush on that just now. And he told me while he was here that nothing pleases him more than hearing people, particularly young people, singing songs from his part of the world. So I'm sure he would be only delighted with that, Iona, and your fabulous rendition also. Okay, we'll move on now to, I asked David Ingerson if he would like to sing. I'll ask to unmute you, David.
Sure thing. Thank you. Thank you,
stuff.
Deborah.
Great to see you, David.
That was lovely, Iona. I'm delighted to hear you singing. Here's what some of you have heard this before, I'm sure, but it's well worth repeating. It's by Breach Murphy. And she very graciously allowed me to change the words just slightly in the last chorus so that it could be more relevant to today's issues. Anyway, 'twas the year before the rising in 1798 when, sorry, 'twas the year before the rising in 1798 when when Lappin the blacksmith befell his sad fate, tortured and slain by the crown's cruel hand for the forging of pikes in defense of his land. And the people, they gathered at the old market stone to piece out their linen, their plans to disguise. But the Crown's Captain Farnham, he maintained her cruel ways with the promise of silver to sweeten his spies. And it's cold blow the winds o'er Glenjesha, bitter the legacy born, and sad are the days lie before us. Our brave Thomas Lappin is gone. The yeoman arrived in the dead of the night. Farnan took pride in his task. They dragged out poor Lappin, and the neighbors all knelt and prayed for his soul as they passed. They tortured and flogged him, his comrades to name, and for 3 days their blows he defied. His screams from the barracks at Belmont rang out. At the end of the 4th day he died, and it's cold blow the winds o'er Glenjesha. Bitter the legacy born, and sad are the days lie before us. Our brave Thomas Lappin is gone. And the people despaired that their cause it was lost, as they laid him by Ernie's sweet stream. But the blacksmith of Carrick, his spirit lived on, forged hard in the people who stood by his dream, that all women and men have a right to be free, in spite of nation, of color, or of creed. Each woman and man as all equal should be. When you cut down the flower, you will scatter the seed. And the winds are ever blowing o'er Glenjesha. But hope is now the legacy that's born, and contentious are the days lie before us. But the spirit of Thomas Lappin lives on. The seeds of Lappin's flower are scattered and sown, and may they sprout and grow. Thank you all.
Fabulous stuff, David. Up the rebels, as they say. Could you share with us the songwriter again?
Breege Murphy.
Breege Murphy.
She's from near Forkhill, I believe, and she grew up and lives only an ass's bray from where this happened.
Fabulous. Well, thanks so much for that, David. That was beautiful. Okay, next up we're going to hear from Anne Skelton. But before Anne sings, I should share a funny story. I was recently in Paris on an artist residency, and there was a woman from New York staying in the same accommodation, and she came up to me and said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Ireland." And she said, "Oh, my cousin's from Ireland." And she said, "Do you know her?" And I was like, "Listen, Ireland is a very big place. There's not a chance I know your cousin." She says, "Really? Her name is Anne Skelton?" I was like, "I do know Anne Skelton." So Regina McManus in New York City, if you're watching, I do know your cousin, and she's going to sing the next song. How are you, Anne?
I'm good, Darren. Thank you. It's funny, just before I logged on here tonight, Regina sent me a message. Any chance we could have a phone call? And I said, "Well, sorry, I'm just about to meet Darry Yates." So she said to say hello. So that was the reference.
Fabulous.
So I will have a go at a Archie Fisher song. It's Dark Eyed Molly. Deep and dark are my true love's eyes, blacker now is the winter turning, as the sadness of parting proves. But brighter now is the lantern burning, as it lightens my path to love. No fiddle tune will take the air, but I'll see her swift feet a-dancing, and the swirl of her long brown hair, her smiling face and her dark eyes glancing, as we stepped out blink bonny fair. But if my waiting proves in vain, then I will pack and track ever take me, and the long road will ease my pain. No gem of womankind will make me e'er whisper love's words again. For in drink I'll seek good company. My ears will ring with the tavern's laughter, and I'll hear not her love's sweet sighs. And who's to know in the morning after that I long for her dear dark eyes. Deep and dark are my true love's eyes, blacker now is the winter turning, as the sadness of parting proves. Dark-eyed Molly.
Oh, and that was fabulous. That was
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
Just wonderful. What a treat to hear you. And yeah, if you can send my message back to your cousin Regina, please do.
I will indeed. Thanks, Sarah.
Great stuff. Well, I was so mesmerized by that song and trying to figure out our tech gremlins on Facebook. I did not nominate the next singer, but I can see Porrick King lying in wait there, and he is a fabulous singer and a consummate professional who can jump in at any moment. Porrick, would you give us a song? I have asked to unmute you, Porrick. We have you there. How are you, Porrick?
Hear me now, yes?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
You caught me on the hop there.
We did. You're a sacrificial lamb for our technical gremlins. I hope you don't mind.
Thanks, Anita, for asking me.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll try Carrick River. It's a favourite of one of your guests there. As I rode out one evening in the pleasant month of May, it was down by Carrick River I carelessly did stray, where the hawthorn and the sweet briar, they would your heart illume, and the rippling of the waters when the frockens were in bloom. It's well I do remember when together we would roam through the lovely dells of Carrick, where the woodcock makes his home, where all nature it seems smiling along each rocky side, and then the silvery stream rolls down between the Join and the Slaney tide. We oft times go to view the place where our comrades they do lie, where oft we join in harmless sport in days now long gone by. Our hearts were young, we knew no care, as through the fields we strayed, but in vain that they have passed away, where oft times we have can forget or mourn what might have been. As we strayed along, the bird's sweet song was ringing in the sky. O'er the lonely graves of Carrick, where our 98 men lie. The thoughts of you, sweet Carrick, are constant in my mind. I have roamed this wide world over, your equal I can't find. Your lofty tree and the waterfall, it's them I do adore. So fare thee well, sweet Carrick, adieu forevermore. Sinead.
Fabulous stuff, Pádraig. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. We are going to head over to New York City now to hear from Alice Farrell Perlman, another loyal Séamus Ennis Arts Centre for the last month. How are you, Alice?
I'm good. Thanks, Dara, for the call. I was going to sing something like Halloweenish, but then I thought when I saw this person come into the session, and I haven't seen him here before, that it would be great to sing this. It's very apropos for leaving all of you who have become such great friends over Zoom. And this is a song by Tom Reed. The first time I saw you in an old country hall, when I was a stranger, my back to the wall, I was taking a chance, I was all out at sea, when I heard you singing such sweet harmony. For you are the singer, so daring and bold. You've got the music right down in your soul. It's like sunshine in winter when you sing along. For you are the singer, you are the song. You sang of hard times, of the briar and the rose, a hymn from the heart, every song that you chose. I thought that an angel came down from the blue when you sang, no telling what a love song will do. For you are the singer, so daring and bold. You've got the music deep down in your soul. It's like sunshine in winter when you sing along. For you are the singer, you are the song. We spoke for a while at the end of the night, of songs and of singers that brought such delight. And all of my sorrows were gone like the rain when you said, won't you come back and see us again? For you are the singer, so daring and bold. You've got the music deep down in your soul. It's like sunshine in winter when you sing along. For you are the singer, you are the song. So here's to your beauty, my sisters in song, May your troubles be small. May your journey be long. May your health be your wealth. May we always be friends. May you keep singing right up to the end. For you are the singer, so daring and bold. You've got that music deep down in your soul. It's like sunshine in winter when you sing along. For you are the singer, you are the song. You are the singer, you are the song.
Fabulous, Alice. Thanks so much for that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And now I'm going to go have a good cry.
It's been a pleasure having you on these calls for the last while, Alice. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's been such a pleasure being here, and thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Well, you did pay me in a knitted hat, so so you've
yeah.
shown your appreciation thus far. But thank you
did.
very much.
Thanks.
Great stuff. Well, I thought it only fair. I'm not sure if he saw the message, but only fair to let Tom Reid retort, respond. Tom, I'm going to ask to unmute you. You have to accept my unmuting. How are you, Tom?
Very well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Great to have you.
And strange to hear one of my songs sung. Lovely job, Alice. Thank you. Always a delight to hear somebody sing one of my little numbers. We sailed away one bitter cold December day. We hoisted anchor, no delay, from Galway Bay. We sailed away, no time to cry, no mother there to wave goodbye. From famine fields the wild geese fly, to live or die, no time to cry. In God we trust, though all round us turns to dust, our bellies starve, no crumb nor crust, so leave we must. In God we trust, down in the hold, wrapped in rags against the cold, 200 fevered Irish souls, like slaves of old, down in the hold, out on the ways. We beg our children to be brave. So many die, no one can save. We make their graves out on the ways. No Irish here. We stagger slowly down the pier. No helping hand they mock and sneer. What do they fear? No Irish here. We sailed away. We sailed away. Sinead.
Fabulous, Tom. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Okay, we're going to move over to Dervla ní Bhrolachan. Dervla, I'm going to ask to unmute you. We have you. How are you, Dervla?
Hiya, how are you?
Not too bad at all. What have you
Great
got for
to
us?
be here. Sorry, I was a little bit late.
That's okay.
I had a story similar to yours, Macdara. I was in Dublin last week and I was lucky enough to get to the Goleen. But I sat into a taxi to get somewhere in a hurry, and the man who was driving the taxi turned out to be the grandfather of a pupil in our school in Galway. Then I walked into a coffee shop and the girl looked at my COVID cert and said, "Oh, my mother's in Obrelachan." And then, what was the third one? Oh yeah, well, I went to the Goleen and met two people I'd never spoken to live except on Zoom. Alison and Phil O'Connor, who turned up, and none of us knew. Well, I think Alison knew Phil was turning up, but I didn't know either of them would be there. So it was kind of, an amazing day.
Beautiful.
And I bought the Frank Carrick book, which was just the icing on the cake.
Oh, it's a good day by anyone's standards, I think.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was some day. Anyway, yeah, after all of that, I'm in about 3 minds what I'm going to sing. So I'm just going to start. I was asked to sing a song recently, something to do with cleaners and loss. And this was one of the songs that jumped into my head, which is Phil Filaruno. So it's a song about a man who changes religion. He was a priest and he becomes a minister, but it's kind of based on the same melodies as we use for our laments, kind of starting high and falling. And really it's a song about loss, because she believes that if he doesn't change back to Catholicism, he's lost to her forever and lost to God and lost to everyone. So it's a kind of a cleaner in an unusual kind of way, I guess. Anyway, Phil Filaruno. Phil Filaruno, Filaruno is not him. Filarum Christless star, agus he het un glor mailen to. You miss your heart was immortal brino gasharugume niaka and the fall Maran sagar to donel na finished. Phil Filaruno, Filaruno is not him. Filarum Christless star, agus he het un glor ma illentu. Yulta to Padaris Paul, Marjala nor said not a good. Yulta to Banrin Lord, Agus jumpa to Gota unfinished. Phil Filaruno, Filaruno is not him. Felarum achwisles is agus hihe glor mailen tu.
Oh, you're a bhí sé sin go hálinn ar fad gur mí mat.
Gurmagat ein.
Okay. Okay, our next singer deserves much props. Not only has she been an extremely dedicated attendee of the session, but she has actually been called into work this evening and has agreed to give us a song anyway. She can't turn on her camera, but Lainey Dempsey is going to give us the next one, even in her place of employment. Lainey, I've asked to unmute you.
Hello.
Hi, Lainey. How are you?
Hi, I'm glad I could make it for the last night.
So are we, Lainey.
I have to sing quite quietly, so I'll certainly not be belting anything out. It's always tricky to think of songs you can sing quite quietly, but I think I'll do this wee John Imla one. The moon shone calmly bright upon the slumbering sea. 10,000 stars shone out that night around their placid quay. A ship he left the shore, or shall that get ship be? Ere fill that moon in bright on moor, deep, deep in the booming sea. Hark, heard ye know but how a wild unearthly cry they ask with troubled breast and brow, and startled ear and eye. Was the water spirit's shriek? For may that Odin be? And a moment paled the brownest cheek on the deep and booming sea. For fear the breeze the night can scarce a ripple wake. Slow moves her ship with wings so white, like the swan o'er moonlit lake. Oh, little dreamt they then the change so soon to be, and arose the songs o' jovial men on the deep and booming sea. 'Tis morn, but such a morn may bark ne'er brave again. Through vaulting billows tempest torn toils the reeling ship in vain. The waves are hushed and blue, but what, oh, what is she? the good ship with her gallant crew, deep down in the booming sea. That's it. Thanks.
Oh, Lenny, that was beautiful, and thank you so much for squeezing us in, even on a busy night like tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you, Dara. And this, I mean, it will be missed. It definitely will be missed.
As will you, my friend. Thanks so much. Okay, Kathleen Mcdonald sent me a message saying she has to run off to her grandson's birthday party, a noble cause, but asked if we could get her in the first half. So, Kathleen, you're calling from Toronto, I believe. Is that right?
I'm in Toronto, and one of the reasons I really wanted to sing tonight was because I should be in Dublin tonight. I should be arriving in Dublin tonight. I had to cancel my trip because of the pandemic and put it off till 2022. And I was very sad to do that. But these sessions have meant so much to me, being so far away. So I'm just going to sing a song that's very familiar, but it's sort of exactly what I'm feeling right now. Let me give myself a note. For all the, no, I'm going to start a little higher. For all the money that e'er I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. For all the comrades that e'er I had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call good night and joy be with you all. Sinead, thank you. Hope to see you all soon.
Thanks so much, Kathleen. And please, when you do make the Dublin, call in. You've got friends here.
I certainly will. Thank you.
Great stuff. Chat to you soon. Okay, we will have one more singer before we move on to our guest part of the evening, and that will be David Clare. David, I'm going to ask to unmute you. Do we have David?
Yeah.
Here we go. How are you, David?
Lovely. Yeah, fine, thank you. Lovely to be here, even if it's the last one. Fortunately, here in London, we've been able to get to quite a few live singing sessions lately, which is unbelievably joyous. It's incredible. This is called Moonshiner. I've only heard it sung by Chaim Tenenbaum, who, when he was support for Loudon Wainwright as a concert in London about 4 or 5 years ago. He's a big mate of Loudon Wainwright's, and a wonderful man. And he said he doesn't know who wrote the song, he doesn't know where he got it from, but he doesn't think it's the sort of thing that he would have written. So I suspect he's being modest. Well, I'm a drinking man, you see, well contented with a glass or two, At a high street tavern is where I'll likely be. Nobody's business if I do. Nobody's blue-eyed boy am I. I'm just a free and easy bachelor man. All you fine young ladies, you never brought me joy. And so a bachelor man I am. I do me work, I earn me pay. What the hell else can a poor man do? And if I had some money, I'd just drink it all away. Give me religion when I'm dead, and give me greenbacks when I'm hard up. All the world's a bottle, and life is just a dram. So raise your glasses, take your song, 'cause I'm a drinking man, you see. I'm well contented with a glass or two. In a high street tavern is where I'll likely be. Nobody's business if I do. So
Oh, David, that was beautiful. I'm very glad you could join us. If for the last one, if nothing else, thank you so much. That was wonderful, David. Thanks for being with us. Great. Okay, well, that will bring us on to the guest portion of the evening. The way we're going to do this is we're just going to ask each of the guests to sing once, and then in the second half, we'll get them to do the same thing again. So we'll hear from them twice, but one song each in this portion. The first up is Alberta Lathan in Indiana. Alberta, I'll ask to unmute you.
Hello.
How are you, Alberta?
I'm good, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, but I need to do a brief little sound check. Can you hear this? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alberta. Happy birthday to you. I have to mute everybody again, so I'll unmute you again. Apologies.
Now that was a birthday song like none I ever heard before.
Very old Irish song sung at
it was like it had layers. It was like a cake with layers.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you very much for the good wishes, and I was just going to sing a song about a bee, actually a queen bee, and this song was written by Eugene Lamb, and it was concerning his friend Martin Rochford, who was fiddle player, piper from County Clare, and this song is, I don't know, 20 years old maybe. So it was early in the morning in the spring time of the year, with bellies full of bread and cups of tea. Oh, Martin and his friends, they set out that fateful day to purchase for the hive a fine queen bee. Oh, Lord, I do request, do your fair and level best, pay attention to the plight of Martin's bee. Bee, pay attention to the plight of Martin's bee. A rumor 1 month ere of a bee beyond compare, with hairy legs and morals very loose. They said she was well bred, she had lips of ruby red, very amorous and anxious to produce. Very amorous and anxious to produce. In Kilkenny town she dwelt, in a palace of her own, with hopeless insulation all around. She had workers' drones and all plush carpets on the wall. Oh, a finer type of bee could not be found. Oh, a finer type of bee could not be found. But tragedy soon struck, as so oftentimes it must. Fingers grabbed her by her silken throat. She was cruelly plucked away on that savage vernal day. A victim of a measly £5 note. Oh, a victim of a measly £5 note. It was mindful of those days when poor Erin's favourite sons to Van Diemen's Land were sent away for air, for they put her in a jar and they took her to the car. Transportation to Bodyke in County Clare, Clare. Transportation to Bodyke in County Clare. Well, the journey being long, and the bee not very strong, Captain Rochford moored a while in Killaloe. He rolled all windows up, he unscrewed the old tram cup, and inside the car the bee most freely flew. Oh, inside the car the bee most freely flew. Well, they had their bit of stout, and just after being thrown out, they carefully bestowed their precious load, and then feeling hale and hearty, they stocked up for a party, and they landed safely on the Tulla road. Oh, they landed safely on the Tulla road. Well, the night was dark and dreary, and the crew were mighty weary. They decided to postpone the honeymoon. Instead of honeycombs instead of honeycombs with its something in its drones, the bee would stay there with them in the room. Oh, the bee would stay there with them in the room, where she flew with gay abandon all the things she didn't land on, to the sound of fiddles, pipes, and repartee. Oh, Martin fell asleep, and the lads homeward did creep, and Martin's cap was resting on his knee. Oh, his knee. Oh, poor Martin's cap was resting on his knee. So, to conclude my story, and this part is mighty gory, with desolation and destruction I must close. At 11:15, like a 7:47, the bee alighted smack on Martin's nose. Oh, that bee alighted smack on Martin's nose. What a man to lay about! He twitched his tickling snout, but all to no avail, for she stayed put. And being drugged by sleep and potion, Martin's cap streaked into motion, and he squashed the bee and tumbled out her guts, guts, guts. Oh, he squashed the bee and tumbled out her guts. So, for all his time and trouble and the £5 and the travel, he landed with a flattened mother bee. Oh, the neighbours tell this tale, and the moral they regale is to drop your standards, chase no pedigree. Oh, Lord, I do request, do your fair and level best, have mercy on the soul of Martin's bee, bee, bee. Oh, have mercy on the soul of Martin's bee.
Fabulous, Alberta. Thanks very much. Quite a nice Halloweeny one, I think. Got some,
well, there is some, death and guts and stuff.
Just general dismemberment. Yeah, it tends to work this time of year. Thanks so much, Alberta. We'll hear from Alberta a bit later on as well. Okay, I'm going to move down to the sunny southeast and get a song from Gavin Byrne now.
Good evening. Great to be here with you. I'll try the Bonnie Bunch of Roses, one that I learned from the singing of Séamus Ennis mainly. By the margin of the ocean, one pleasant morning in the month of June, when all the feathered songsters their liquid notes they did sweetly tune, it was there I spied a female, on her features were the signs of woe, conversing with young Bonaparte concerning the bonny bunch of roses. Oh, then up spake young Napoleon, and he took his mother by the hand, saying, Mother dear, be patient until I'm able to take command. Then I'll raise a mighty army, and through tremendous dangers go, and I ne'er will return again till I've conquered the bonny bunch of roses. Oh, when first you met great Bonaparte, you fell upon your bended knee. You asked your father's life of him, and he granted it right manfully. 'Twas then he took an army, and o'er the frozen Alps did go. He said, I'll conquer Moscow, and return for the bonny bunch of roses. Oh, he had 300,000 men, and kings likewise for to bear his train. He was so well provided for that he could sweep the world for gain. But when he came to Moscow, he was overpowered by sleet and snow, and with Moscow all a-blazing, he lost the bonny bunch of roses, oh. Now, son, be not too venturesome, for England is the heart of oak. And England, Ireland, Scotland, their unity will ne'er be broke. Remember your brave father, in Saint Helena he lies low. And if you follow after, beware the bonny bunch of roses, oh. Now, mother dear, I bid you adieu, as I lay on my dying bed. Had I have lived, I'd be clever, but now I droop my youthful head. And when my bones lay mouldering, and weeping will o'er me grow, the name of young Napoleon will enshrine the bonny bunch of roses, oh. Sinead.
Fabulous, Gavin. Thanks so much.
God bless you.
We'll be hearing from Gavin again shortly. Now we'll go over to Joe O'Connor. Joe, I've asked to unmute you. There we have you.
Thanks, Dara. Hello, everyone. Delighted to be with you tonight. In July of 1819, a young girl from outside the town of Croom in County Limerick was murdered out in the Shannon estuary by her husband, John Scanlon, and his servant man, Stephen Sullivan. Her body was later washed ashore at Moneypoint, and she's buried in Boran Cemetery, which is between Kildysart and Kilrush in West Clare, where she shared the plot of ground with the Pecker Dunn. Scanlon was hanged for her murder on the 16th of March 1820, and Sullivan was arrested sometime later in Scartaglen in County Kerry, where he was living under an assumed name. And he too was hanged for the murder of 15-year-old Ellen Hanley, better known as the Colleen Bawn. This one's called A Voice from the Waters, and they'd like to dedicate it to the memory of a great friend, a great gentleman, a great singer who sings with a band of angels tonight, the late Jimmy O'Brien from Killarney. There are a few of Jimmy's good friends with us this evening. There is a lonely secret place where gentle breezes blow. High, high upon the rolling waves, a maiden whispers low. A ghostly boatman can be seen way out across the bay, and the small birds cry where Ellie died before the break of day. Arise, arise, my own true love, and be my loving wife. You will be my darling to cherish all my life. I will be contented if you will be my bride, and will hear the wild winds whispering along the Shannon side. You spoke false words, John Scanlon. You spoke false words to me. You did not keep me safe or warm or love me tenderly. You brought me to this barren place where wild flowers will not grow, to make for me a lonesome grave where Shannon waters flow. I came to you, John Scanlon, all in my virgin gown. I loved you at the dawn of day. and when the sun went down, I left the house where I was born, outside the town of Croom. Remember how we loved then, John, beneath a young May moon. But now, here in this boat I lie, tossed on a raging tide. I see cold murder on your brow, and hate shines from your eyes. Why don't you kiss my cold, cold lips, and hold my trembling hand, and tell the boatman Sullivan to put me safe on land? I've never sailed a boat way out beyond the blue. I have never plucked a rose caressed by morning dew. No more I'll feel the pangs of love, or taste the bitter wine. I'll die on Carrick Island before the morning time. I never craved your father's land, or brooches of fine gold. The mansion that your parents owned seemed dreary, dark and cold. My only wish was to live my life, and to be your loving bride, and hear the wild winds whispering along the Shannon side. Pray tell to me, John Scanlon, before you take my life, why did you lie upon my bed and take me for your wife? Where are the golden vows you made to love me more and more, as we watch the starlight's magic glow along the Shannon shore? I'll curse your name, John Scanlon, on this island where I'll die. You'll reap a lonely death upon the scaffold high. They'll speak your name with hate and shame. When they tell of the Colleen Bawn, my ghost will ride on the Shannon tide before the break of dawn. There is alone some secret place where gentle breezes blow. High, high upon the rolling waves, a maiden whispers low. A ghostly boatman can be seen before the break of day, and a voice cries out, remember me, across the stormy bay.
Powerful stuff, Joe. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Okay, we will hear from our last of the guest singers for this half. Linn Phipps, I've asked to unmute you.
Thank you, Dara. Absolutely thrilled to be here with you. Thank you. I'm going to sing a song from Kathleen McDonald, who I did meet at the Fish Rush, which is the adult teaching fish in Scotland. Excuse me. What as I would be in Arctic one, where the mountains sink away, and as I would let the Sundays go in the cuckoo glens above the bay. Agus och hera agus liado the quiet land of Erin. My heart is weary all alone, and it sends a lonely cry to the land that sings beyond my dreams. And the lonely Sundays pass me by. Agus och hera agus liando the quiet land of Erin. I would rather back that wasted years and the better ways that went. If the God above would let me lie in a quiet place above the winds, agus och och agus níando the quiet land of Eden, agus och och agus níando the quiet land of Eden.
Oh, Lynn, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Well, folks, I hope you haven't had enough yet, because we've only halfway there. We will take 10 minutes, just people need to refill their glasses or go to the bathroom or wherever else. I will unmute you all, or at least give you the ability to unmute if you want to say hi. And yeah, we'll see you in 10.
We're hot.
Only halfway there?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. That was so wonderful. I just love hearing you sing.
Very much.
Thank
I
you.
really love that song. Absolutely fell in love with that. In fact, I'm working my way through Castle songs. I sing some of them too. They're just to me. I love his interpretations. I love his versions.
Well, Lynn, you'll just have to meet up with him here in Edinburgh, because, as I'm sure you know, he has at least another 123 songs in his head.
And I met him.
Yeah, well, you live in Edinburgh too, don't you?
No,
I'm sorry.
My Gaelic, one of my Gaelic choirs is in Edinburgh, so.
That's where I made the mistake. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Catch
you a fuadach?
Well, Hamin and Dan Arch Hamin Dork, Hamin Darasta and in Unish, Vami Shane, Colin McCall.
God, Liva.
For sure, some more down, I guess. Haró Carperson an ach bad torna na caution and Shane cóla. Well, Shane is so showcase I guess Shane cóla agus a new va master choir sound an Yiddish so va uversach ma vi cóla me carrigan agus na caution éile so.
Well, we lenting an ach stocha gom bifis agad van a sculpture an Sean and the agent has the ruch agus mis gober an sa skull Gaelic. So charo dói farm food me dul suas. Yeah. Sorry, just have to get our wee bit of Gaelic in there.
Haró fís acam ach féimi sin a céili orst
Féimi gajarú bheach sin chósnog, yeah. So Cathal and I are about two or three bus stops away from each other.
Right.
And yeah, and as you know, we work together.
Be me chian.
Well, it's, you know, he just loves to, there's nothing that lifts his heart more than to work with people on songs. Yeah, and I've worked with him on that one. I've worked on the Irish version of that with him and got him to do a lovely flute arrangement. And then he got annoyed with me because he wanted to sing it himself. But yeah, we have a lot of fun. It's, you know, he comes here to do the admin, and it has to take a day, like 3 hours of admin has to take a day so that there's time for him to play his whistle and to try out some different versions of songs and stuff. And I just pinch myself and say most people would give their right arm for that opportunity.
Féimi tú postí scríbte an chatbox agus bí.
Oh, sure. Cuirí mí teachra chuút.
Bhí me se lorach strúbag an drast.
Clever. Okay.
Lynn?
She's just gone for a strip bag.
How are you, Declan? Good to see you.
Not so bad, Dara. How are you?
Not so bad.
Sorry for all the confusion this evening.
Don't be silly. I think we're all a little bit confused about all this crack. It doesn't get a whole lot easier over time.
I got here anyway.
Yeah.
Dara, it was good to almost meet you at the Cobblestone protest last week.
Yes, I saw you from a distance. You seemed like you had a job to do, so I left you alone.
I was on the petition table, all right. I was taking signatures for the day. It was a great turnout.
It was. I'm curious if other people in the Zoom room here saw the turnout to save the Cobblestone at the protest in Dublin. It was quite heartening, I have to say.
Yeah.
Good. It was, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd like to be there.
Please God, we'll save it, and you will get a chance to be there.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Connor, I was seeing an article today that there's been 50 objections so far.
There's been 50 objections put in just by individuals, which people have to remember that cost €20 a go. Like, you have to pay for that. So fair play to the people who've done it. And then I think at this stage there's at least 30,000, if not 40,000 signatures on the online petition.
Yeah.
So I know there's a meeting in the council, or having a special meeting next week about it. So it'll be interesting to see. But the campaign is ongoing, that's for sure. Yeah. And is the campaign arranging a sort of an advice session on how to submit a they have put stuff out online, for people who want to put in an objection, how to go about it and how to do it.
Great. And
I think they're planning, I know there's a meeting planned for next week as far as I know, so they're just trying to get things together and to see. I don't know whether they're waiting to see what happens at the council meeting to see what happens next. But trust me, there is a campaign there, and there's a lot of people who are going to be behind it. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Connor, does the advice include, like, what would you say, reasons that the corpo would listen to, like, to object? Because I know you can't just kind of write in and go, this is crap.
You see, the problem is it's there are certain parameters on which you can object under, and it does give the advice on the online as to how to go objecting. I mean, there are people saying that we should be just having a conversation at this stage, to try and open up a dialogue, but I think we have to go through. I think it's great that people are doing it. I think it's great that people are showing an interest, and that Dublin City Council will have to pay attention to this. There was 3,000 people, close enough to 3,000 people on the streets last week, and I'm telling you, if the news isn't good, or if they get the go ahead, it's just going to get bigger. And I hope it does, and I hope it's the catalyst for many more things. And it would be great if Irish music and the Cobblestone was the straw that broke the camel's back in this country. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to start a rant here, which I will if you let me, so don't let me.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm up for a new job, and if I get it, I'll pay the damn €20 and put in my objection.
But I mean, it's like, as somebody said, there's pretty shortly there's going to be tourists coming to Dublin, and they'll be leaving their hotels to do a tour of Dublin, to visit other hotels and to see other hotels, because that's all that's going to be left of our city. They've already torn the heart out of the Liberties. They've already torn the heart out of Thomas Street, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And there has to be a straw that breaks the camel's back, and I hope the Cobblestone is the one that wakes people up to a lot of different issues that are going on, but certainly this is the one that's sparking interest, so fingers crossed.
Well, hopefully before they destroy it, not after, like.
Yeah, hopefully so, but I mean, it has to come from us, it has to come from the people on the streets. That's where it has to come from. It won't come from anywhere else.
Absolutely.
I will say, don't underestimate the power a small committed group of people can have, because I grew up in a town in New England, and the next town over had 800 people, and the state wanted to put a prison in the town, and they fought and they won. So it can be done.
There are a lot of committed people in the campaign, and they're getting organised, so that's the good thing.
Could you do a sit-in, Connor?
Sorry?
Could you do a sit-in?
Well, no, we went to the Dublin City Council buildings. Now, there'd be nobody there on a Saturday, you know what I mean? There'd be hardly anybody there Monday to Friday, actually, on Saturday. But there's big steps leading up to the entrance, so all the musicians just kind of sat on the steps, and it was basically an impromptu session, you know what I mean?
I saw the footage, it looked great.
It was fantastic, it really was.
It was really quite joyful as well, wasn't it?
It was heartwarming. And I mean, one of the girls there, she's the daughter of Tom Mulligan, and she's a fiddle player, and she spoke, and I mean, it was just, there was tears coming out of her eyes. She was crying as she spoke, but you could just see the passion and the commitment of the people who were there, and the people who were on the streets. I mean, there was something, everybody was kind of looking at each other going, there's something happening here. You know what I mean? There's something stirring here, you know, and it was just great to see. It really was.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, I was looking around, Connor, I think only a quarter of the people there were traditional musicians, you know what I mean? It means, the whole thing means much more this thing means much more to people than just the traditional music community, you know?
Absolutely.
It's hit a nerve, I think, in a big way.
It's culture. I mean, Dublin is a cultural city, for God's sake. It's not just about music. It's about what they're doing to the culture of our city, to the space of our city, to how we interact with our city, you know, and it's important. And I was just, as I say, I know I'm repeating myself, but it was very heartening to see so many people there. And hopefully it's the start of something bigger.
Definitely. Oh, well, on that hopeful note, I guess we'll get her going again. I had sent Francis Rogers a message to open the second half. I wonder, Francis, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Francis is there. I'll ask you to stick on your video, and we'll get her going. Thanks so much, folks, and we shall get the singing going again. I'll just mute. Sorry, I'm gonna have to unmute you again, Francis, because I have to mute all. 1 second.
Okay.
There we go. Francis Rogers from the county of Armagh. How are you, Francis?
Down.
County. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's typical Dubliner stuff now. Do you know what I mean? Up yonder. Yeah. I'm very sorry. I associate you with the likes of Micheál Quinn and the rest of you. You're all good pals. So my mistake. What are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to sing the Maid of Ballymore. Oh, ye lads and lasses all around, give ear unto my song. I hope you'll pay attention, I won't detain you long. It's all the pretty fair maiden I do adore, and I style her the Phoenix or the Maid of Ballymore. Oh, the first time I saw my love, to tell you the truth, I been young and airy, all in the bloom of youth. Her beauty enticed me and wounded me full sore, and I dreamt all that night of the maid from Ballymore. It'd been early one morning, just at the break of day, and being for recreation, I carelessly did stray. And as I was passing a purling stream, I was suddenly upheld by that same fond earnest dame. Good morning, you are my heart's delight, and since you have enticed me by your beauty bright, if you don't release me, and that speedily, I am sure sudden death, love, would be my decree. Marky Bond, do not say so. I pray you don't say so. And as for an answer to my parents, you must go. And if they'll consent, love, that I'm to be your bride, well, I'll marry you tomorrow, whatever may betide. Marky Bond was overjoyed at hearing the glad news, and to make him go the quicker, he tied on his shoes. He went straight to her mama, and the deed it was soon done. Marky Bond, you are welcome this day to be my son. Marky Bond is married now and lives at his ease. He comes as he wishes and goes as he please. A happier young couple was never seen before than the young Marky Bond and the maid of Ballymore.
Fabulous, Francis. Thank you so much. From the county down. I'll remember for next time. Great stuff. Thanks, Francis. Okay, I've asked Sean Faulkner to sing next. Sean, I'm going to ask to unmute you. How are you, Sean?
Not too bad, thanks, Victoria. Okay, get a note here. Come, all you tender parents. A bit of modulation, I think, here. Come, all you tender parents, and listen here unto my sad tale. With a heavy heart and a troubled mind, I will relate to you the same. My dying declaration, I hope it will warning be to the rising generation for, to keep them from the gallows tree. Bernard McCann, it is me name, and the truth of that I'll not deny. In Newton, Hamilton, I was born and raised by parents tenderly to give me good education. The greatest care and pains they took, but unto my condemnation, the path of virtue I forsook. In Castle Blaney I was bound, an apprentice to the baking trade, with Patrick Quigley, where my time was spent in very honest ways. I then went on unto Dromore, which lies within the county down, where employment there I did see, as a journeyman with Adam Sloan. But there may races coming on, for recreation I was inclined, and with the giddy multitudes I ran. No hurt nor harm was on my mind. On the 20th day of July, my money it been all gone, and intoxicated all from the races. 'Twas then that I did journey home, where I waylaid old McAdam for to murder him I did intend, and to rob him of his money, which has brought me to this shameful end. After this dreadful deed, his body into the canal I threw, and to the town of Galway my course I straightway did pursue. There I changed me name to John Hughes, hoping justice to escape thereby. But the ever-seeing Providence, he would not let that murder die. In Galway I got married, and I spent 10 years all in that town. I had 24 acres of free land and savings of £1,500. In the height of all me splendour, I ne'er joyed peace or content, till I was apprehended, and then to Downpatrick I was sent. At 29 years of age, I now have to resign my life and leave behind me to bewail 5 children and a loving wife. May the Lord have mercy upon me, a poor and a wretched man. And whoever reads these verses, take this warning from Bernard McCann. Will.
Oh, Sean, that was fabulous. Thank you so much. What's the name of that one? I haven't heard it.
That's the dying declaration. The dying declaration of one Bernard McCann, who was executed in Downpatrick in the end of July in 1823, 10 years after murdering that owned McAdam. He absconded to Galway trying to escape justice, but a neighbour of his spotted him in Galway 10 years after, and he was taken back to Downpatrick and hung.
Wow. Thanks so much. It was a beautiful, beautiful rendition. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Okay, I did send a message to Sarah McNamara. I'm not sure she saw it. Judging by the look in her face, I don't think she did. We'll get a song nonetheless, Sarah. I've asked to unmute you.
Grant, thanks.
No worries.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to just say I always love hearing that Martin B song that's usually Lamb one, because the Black Sticks was always our local until it shut a couple of years ago. So we grew up hearing about Rochford and this famous B, but you never hear the song flowed home. So I must learn it. So thanks a million for that. Right. On the first day of January 1892, they opened Ellis Island and they let the people through. And the first to cross the threshold to that Isle of Hope and Tears was Annie Moore from Ireland, who was all of 15 years. Isle of Hope and Isle of Tears, Isle of Freedom, Isle of Fears, but it's not the isle you left behind. That Isle of Hunger, Isle of Pain, Isle you'll never see again, but the Isle of Home is always on your mind. In a little bag she carried all her past and history, and her dreams for the future in the land of liberty. And courage is your passport when your old world disappears. And there's no future in the past when you're 15 years. Isle of Hope and Isle of Tears, Isle of Freedom, Isle of Fears, but it's not the isle you left behind. That Isle of Hunger, Isle of Pain, Isle you'll never see again, but the Isle of Home is always on your mind. When they closed down Ellis Island in 1943, 17 million people had come there for sanctuary. And in springtime when I came here and I stepped onto its pier, I thought of how it must have been when you're 15 years. Isle of Hope and Isle of Tears, Isle of Freedom, Isle of Fears, but it's not the isle you left behind. That Isle of Hunger, Isle of Pain, Isle you'll never see again, but the Isle of Home is always on your mind. Yes, the Isle of Home is always on your mind.
Fabulous, Sarah. Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to get the next song from Sylvia Barnes. Sylvia, I'm going to ask to unmute you. Hey, Sylvia, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm only really sorry that I've only discovered this session on the last night. It's great that everybody's getting back to singing in rooms together, but I certainly will miss these sessions when they're all finishing up now. So I'd like to sing for you one of the big classic Scots ballads. This one dates back to an incident that happened in 1571. The Campbells and the Gordons were sworn enemies, and Adam Gordon of Auchindoun laid siege to the castle of Corgarth, which is near Tomintoul, I think, up in the very northeast corner of Scotland. He was looking for quarters for his men, and he thought he was probably on an easy touch because the laird of the castle was away with most of the fighting men at the time. But he didn't reckon on a very feisty lady of the house, Margaret Campbell, who not only refused to surrender the castle, but she personally wounded him during the siege. But he exacted quite a grisly revenge by setting fire to the castle and killing her 9 children and 16 of her servants. So bit of a nasty piece of work. It's Ida McGordon. I'll just take a wee note, I think. It fell good the Martinmas time, when winds blew sair and cold. Says Ida McGordon to his men, we mun dara to some hold. Withhold, his merry men cried, withhold shall we draw to. 'Tis to Towie's house that we mun ride, to see that fine lady. And she thought it was a reindeer lord that she saw riding hame. But it was the Rita McGordon, ne'er reck wi' sin nor shame. Come down, Lady Campbell, he cried, and gie your house to me, or else I swear this night I'll burn both you and your bairnies three. Ah, when I come down, the lady cried, for laird nor yet for loon. Far yet far ony rank robber that comes frae Auchindoun. And the lady frae the battlements, twa bullets she's let flee. But they've missed their mark wi' the Gordon, for they only grazed his knee. Lady Campbell, the Gordon cried, that shot will cost ye dear. And he has ca'd on his ain jock to bring the faggots near. Ah, when I come down, ya false Gordon, ah, when I gie up to ye, ah, when I forsake my ain dear lord, sae far away frae me. Then up in Spack her youngest son sat on the nearest knee. Oh, open the door and let me out, for the reek is choking me. I would gie her my gowd, she says, my siller and my fee, for a blast o' the whistling wind to blaw this reek frae me. Then up in Spack her dochter dear, she was baith jimp and sma'. Oh, row me in a pair of sheets and throw me o'er the wa'. They've rowed her in a pair of sheets and thrown her o'er the wa'. But it's on the point o' Gordon's sword, she's gotten a deedly fa'. And the Gordons turned her o'er and o'er, and oh, her face was white. I michty spare that bonny face to be some man's delight. Oh, way beyond that fair castle that was bigot wi' stain and lime, but ways for Lady Campbell hersel, brunt wi' her bairnies nine, and 3 o' them were married wives, and 3 o' them were bairns, and 3 o' them were leal maidens, ne'er leaning young men's arms. Thank you. Ida McGodden.
Great stuff, Sylvia. Thanks so much. Okay, we will head over to Conor Lenihan for the next song. Conor, how are you?
Not too bad there. Thanks very much. I was kind of thinking, because it was the last night, I was going to really belt something out and give something a lash. But you know what? We had a bit of a family gathering here today, and I'm tired and I'm in pain. So I was thinking, like Lainey, I'm going to try a quiet song. And this was the only one that sprung to mind. This is a song, there's many different versions of it. The one I'm going to sing is from one of my favourite bands at the moment, Lankum, and it's a song called The Turkish Revelry. There was a little ship, and she sailed out on the sea, and the name of that ship was the Turkish Revelry. Oh, she sailed out on that lonely, lonesome water. Oh, she sailed out on that lonesome sea. Up stepped a little sailor, saying, "What will you give to me if I sink that ship in the bottom of the sea?" Oh, I'll sink her in that lonely, lonesome water. Oh, I'll sink her in that lonesome sea. Oh, I have a house, and I have land, and I have a daughter that shall be at your command. If you'll sink her in that lonely, lonesome water, if you'll sink her in that lonesome sea. So he's bowed down on his breast, and away he swam he swam till he came to the Turkish Revelry. As she sailed out on the lonely, lonesome water, as she sailed out on the lonesome sea. He had a little all for to make the bore, and he bored 9 holes in the bottom of the floor. Oh, he sunk her in that lonely, lonesome water. Oh, he sunk her in that lonesome sea. So he's bowed down on his breast, and away he swam he swam till he came to the golden willow tree, where she sailed out on that lonely, lonesome water, where she sailed out on that lonesome sea. Saying, "Captain, oh Captain, will you be as good as your word? Or either will you take me upon board, for I've sunk her in that lonely, lonesome water. For I've sunk her in that lonesome sea. No, I shall not be as good as my word, or neither will I take you upon board, though you've sunk her in the lonely, lonesome water, though you've sunk her in the lonesome sea. If it were not for the love that I bear unto your man, I'd sink you just the same as I have sunk them. Oh, I'd sink you in the lonely, lonesome water. Oh, I'd sink you in the lonesome sea. Sinead.
Thanks very much, Connor. And with that, we will head back to our guests for the second guest portion of the evening. The first we're going to hear from is Alberta. Alberta, I'm going to ask to unmute you. Alberta, we have you. Welcome back.
Hello, yay. I'm having a wonderful time. It is so wonderful to hear each and all of you sing. It is a great pleasure. And I will miss this very much, but perhaps we'll at least once in a while be able to have something like that. So, well, I'm from Indiana. Indiana is a big farming state, and so they're all starting on the harvest. And so this is I found something today that's on the internet that says 10 reasons you should marry an Irish farmer. So they list all these, this was updated on October 12th, and a couple of the big reasons were a farmer's tan. You don't need to join a gym because there's always work to be done. And then you don't have to pay a lot of money to barbers because you never get to, nobody leaves the farm. So it was looking pretty good there. So this particular song I was going to sing is about a farmer who's looking for a wife. And it's a song that's sung by Séamus Brogan's mother, Mary Brogan. It was written by their neighbor. So it's a local Wexford song. Well, I'm old and I'm gray, a farmer by trade. I've a small piece of land and a cow. I've a couple of cattle, a couple of pigs, a Ferguson tractor and a plow. I've a nice little house with an orchard in front, just at a bend in the road. It may sound very funny, but I have no money and no one to lighten my load. On Monday I wash, on Tuesday I bake, on Wednesday I mend and I sew. On Thursday I wash up the crockeryware cup, the saucer and also the clothes. On a Friday I'm off to the market with my basket of eggs just a score. Sure, it's easy to purchase my ration. My companion is a dog and no more. On a Saturday night, I'm off with delight for a haircut, a shave, and shampoo. On a Sunday I'm dressed in my very best to meet with a colleen or two. For I'm needing a wife who is tired of her life, who's not afraid of the cow. She'll get up with the lark, keep going till dark, aye, and maybe stay up with the sow. She can't read a book or wear the new look, or even sit down at her ease. No pearls, lipstick, or powder, no furs to enshroud her, no nylons to cover her knees. For the dinner on a Sunday we'll have cabbage and spuds, and maybe a lump of pig's cheek. If there's any left over, we'll have it on Monday, bread and tea for the rest of the week. No chicken or ham, no jelly or jam, or even a slice of a cake. If she sits down by the fire before she retires, with her brushes and her briars she must bake. No pictures or dances, she can't take any chances in dancing a reel or slip jig. First with patches and stitches, she must mend my old breeches when she's not boiling spugs for the pig. So all ye young ladies, I'll give you advice. Far better stay single and free. Never court an old farmer unless he has thousands, for its hardship ye surely will see. Never marry a miserly farmer. If you do, you'll always be his slave. For the girl that marries a miser would be far better off in her grave. So there it is.
Fabulous, Alberta. Although I resent the suggestion that any woman would need 10 reasons to marry an Irish farmer. I think most would need no more than one.
It's true. The tan. I love that the tan was the first one. A good tan.
That's what sells most people, to be honest. That's game over after that. Thanks very much, Alberta. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Great. We shall move down to the pikeman himself, Mr. Gavin Byrne.
No. Good evening. Lovely to hear a couple of Wexford songs this evening. I'll try one more. The Battle of Vinegar Hill. Proud marched the British Army in scarlet and in gold, their trumpets loudly sounding, their banners all unrolled, to meet the Wexford pikemen, these gallant men and true, who fought to raise our darling green above the English blue. To Vinegar Hill their way they took, these English soldiers all, their light foot and their cavalry, their grenadiers so tall, resolved to make those pikemen bold, their rashness sorely rue, who dared to raise our darling green against the English blue. Their captains and their colonels with drawn swords led the way, and many a solemn oath they swore of vengeance on that day, for they thought of Toberneering, of Ross and Wexford town, and in silence vowed they'd perish or pluck the green flag down. And soon the English army, full 20,000 strong, were were marshalled round the hill renowned in story and in song, and soon the battle's thunder broke o'er the echoing plain, as cannon balls fell thickly and musket balls like rain. And sudden on that hillside a steel-tipped forest grew, while borne aloft before their ranks their green flag proudly flew. No quarter did they crave that day, but fell even where they stood. Brave men were they, as in their veins runs fierce Norman blood. Then many a noble heart grew still, and many a brave man died, while crimson streams of heroes' blood ran down the steep hillside. We'll charge once more, my comrades brave, these soldiers of the crown, and keep our green flag flying as we march to Wexford town. As rushing down the hill they came, a swift resistless tide, nor dared King George's veteran troops their onset fierce to bide, but left a passage open wide before their gallant foe, and with their green flag flying towards Wexford town they go. Nor from the English foemen just praise shall we withhold, for Englishmen are stubborn foes and cast in warlike mould. But pity it is that free-born men should strike fair freedom down, and shed their blood in guilty strife for any king or crown. And sure no men in any land e'er waged a braver fight, or bore themselves more valiantly in struggling for the right. Farewell, brave Jimmy Murphy and gallant Mick McClure, they carry Ireland's noble green on high for evermore. Ginny. And thanks, Dara.
No worries,
Great
Gavin.
session.
Thanks very much. No, you reminded me, Len Graham performed at the 40th anniversary of the Golian. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago now. Moira can probably confirm. And he sang a song about Vinegar Hill. I can't remember exactly which one, but he told a story of when he ventured down to see Vinegar Hill in real life for the first time. And he was looking around and seeing some mountains, and he asked a local man, he said, "Can you tell me which one of these is Vinegar Hill?" And the fella grabbed his finger and pointed in the right direction and said, "That's it there." And Len looks on in awe and says, "Wow, Vinegar Hill, Father Murphy." And he says, "Ah, yes, but we have a new priest now." We shall move on to Mr. Joe O'Connor. Joe, I'll ask to unmute you.
Thanks, Sarah. Hannah Godfrey and Tom O'Brien came from an area which is between Pallasgreen and Cappamore in County Limerick. And in April of 1912, they decided to elope. They made their way to Queenstown and bought their tickets to New York on a liner. But at that point, chance or fate or plain bad luck intervened because the liner didn't sail due to a shortage of coal. Steamships were heavily dependent on coal, and there was a Welsh coal miner strike at the time. Their tickets were transferred to the next available crossing, which happened to be the Titanic. The places mentioned in this were very well known to me many years ago when I started my career in dear old Newport town, and we travelled those roads and danced in the Oyster Ballroom in Drumkeen and so on. The rest is history. Anyway, as I roved out with my Hannah where the Mulcair River flows, I asked her would she be my bride just where the lime tree grows. She said her parents did not wish for her to marry me because I was not of her kind and of a low degree. I turned away in silence. But she quickly came to me, saying she and I would one day wed, for she loved no man but me. And she told me of the child we'd have in the great land of the free. So we stole away from Palace Green one tender April night. We whispered goodbye to our youth, although our hearts were light. We made our way to Queenstown Quay to board the White Star Line. As our ship drew near, I held her dear. I was hers and she was mine. On Thursday morning, we set sail, bound fair for New York town. And below the gleaming deck, we quickly settled down. Good friends we made along the way, and our happiness was keen. We sang farewell to Erin and the wearing of the green. Then came the fateful night. When that great ship went down, there were screams of lamentation, confusion all around. The brave, the cowards, the heroes, and those with panic gripped, all banished down to darkness as below the waves she slipped. But what of Hannah Godfrey and her precious unborn child? And what of Tom O'Brien with his eyes so kind and mild? He held her in his arms once more as the lifeboat lowered away. Go and live for both of us, was all that he could say. Scarcely 3 days later, the Carpathia pulled ashore, and there stood Hannah Godfrey and 700 more. And as they cheered and greeted them with music all around, the sad news came for Hannah that Tom O'Brien was drowned. Down by the Carrick River, just where the lime tree grows, a tall young man is standing, and in his hand a rose. He lays it on the water that flows to Newport town, and he thinks of Tom and Hannah, and their ship of dreams went down. Hannah gave birth to a baby girl called Maureen in September of 1912. But sadly, Hannah died of influenza during the terrible flu epidemic of 1918. She was just 35 years old. Maureen, her daughter, lived to be 81 and died in 1994. Sinead Garmagwif.
Powerful stuff, Joe. Thank you so much. Okay, we will move on to Miss Linn Phipps. Lynn, I've asked to unmute you. There we are.
Thank you, Dana. Thanks, and been wonderful to hear all the wonderful songs this evening. I was thinking about singing you a drowning song. I am quite well known for singing miserable songs, but I've decided to sing you a different song. And I've put the words in the chat box so you can read them. I'm going to sing a song written by Dalruil Coruna from the trenches of the First World War. He survived the Battle of the Somme, and for anyone who knows anything about the First World War, the worst battle ever. Lived to a ripe old age, but he wrote the most beautiful song, the most hard-hitting song about the First World War that I have ever known. So I'm going to sing you 6 of the 17 verses. siad nan shinag, and yash and clear am fakal. Stram and kathar hain a fioran, chure karam sa sondach farcha, lembo vian a vinam chorak, kur man kosh nan oran galik. Hi mi roniera mon koshio, krasher a korso asek pashtio, en a man weichen shittar a skrifje, ien a gisha gengen daken. Kimi brakana gazetach, kimi adinya gazwaban, nachtchen dalune frange, fahren doch heil mi machuj vareiren. As a vias mesher medinja, aunt and el shoer maka, binem chria bios nam hulen, shana torshach machuch vareiren.
Fabulous, Lynn. Thank you so much, and thank you to all of our guest singers for being so loyal and so regular in the session over its lifespan. So here's the situation, folks. We have 9 singers that we have yet to hear from this evening. That might take us past the 11:30 mark, just about. But it is my endeavour to hear from everyone this evening if we can for the last one. So if everyone is in agreement, we'll just plough on until we get through everybody, if that's okay. The next singer shall be Vincent O'Connor. Vincent, I'll ask to unmute you. Vincent, how are you?
Fine, thanks, Dara. How are you?
Not too bad at all. What have you got for us?
A song about a traveller who makes poutine.
Fabulous.
Thank you. I was born a traveller, and I tell you no lie. A traveller I lived, and a traveller I die. Now don't get me wrong, I'm proud of my name. God made me a traveller, and I'm proud of my name. My father brewed poutine on Bessie's best range. When I was 12, to me he did say, "Well, son, you're of age, and it's plain to be seen. It's time that I taught you how to make the poutine." He taught me the trade, and I learned the well. I made the finest poutine any traveller could sell. And I used to say still, as my dad used before, it's been in my family 100 years or more. And I sold my poutine from Derry to Cork, from Donegal to Dublin and around by Mayo. To the 32 counties I'm free to roam. The poutine's my living, at the roadside my home. And I married a cousin, a traveller so fair. Her father and mother were travellers and there. And to have me a son is my fondest dream. How I love to teach him how to make the poutine. How I love to teach him how to make the poutine.
Thanks very much, Vincent. Great song.
Thank you.
Okay, I sent Megan Messenger a message via Messenger, but she don't think she saw it. Megan, if you would sing next, that would be lovely. How are you, Megan?
I'm getting the message now. And I'm shocked I actually had today off. I'm so excited. Gosh. If you are going across the water, take me with you, I'll offer to be your partner. At fairs and markets, you'll be well looked after. I shall sleep with the Greek king's daughter. Oh, Donald, you'll not find me lazy, not like some highborn expensive lady. I'll do your milking, I'll nurse your babies, and if you're set upon, I'll defend you bravely. When I saw you first, 'twas a Sunday evening, all at the altar as I was kneeling, upon Christ's passion as I was reading. But my eye was on you, and my sore heart breathing. For you took what's before me and what's behind me. You took east and west when you wouldn't mind me. Sun, moon, and stars from my sky you've taken. And God himself, for I'm much mistaken. Black as the snow as the grief blinds me. Black as the coal is the heart within me. Black as a boot print on a shining hallway. And it's you that's blackened it forever and for always. Jenny?
Gorgeous version of Donald, Megan. Thank you very much for that. Fabulous. Okay. An céad óbrán eile ó Mhaire Níchránin. Mar, I'm going to ask to unmute. Oh, we have you.
Super.
Cathal tú ára.
Tá mé tá. Tá mé beor éigen actually, but anyway. 1 week to midterm. I'm hoping I'll make it. And Norma Foley hasn't done herself any favors with her pronouncements over the past week. But anyway, I won't, like yourself, like Connor earlier, I won't get started on a rant because we'll never finish. Can I just say to everybody, amazing singing, but I've a problem with my keyboard. It's letting me type very slowly and only one letter at a time, and it's not letting me delete anything. So it's just not, you know, I just can't, I everything I've written has taken me ages to write. So I'll just want to say well done to everybody without kind of going too much into detail. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna minimize this and I'm gonna sing Madin Luan Hinkisha. So right. Madin Luan Hinkisha Lauren Schifre sing loud the Vallieder na Kaba Connacht de Yanavan Crinny Marna Dimpal is the Lasmer Ardinte is the Hogamer Kjodrichte go even no Sigyon
This is mobile Marago Gos Cariving Kjol Agus Cortagus Nas Asani Conchasavan Argor Berskela Crino Walioam Day Downy Dionnaferan Gur Conchleva Curacon Rashin Nar Shasavin Singlo Stavekasan Boachel Esan Kalin Canawi Kas Da Viake gemacht so ser horisch nevar Berskele Crindoi Shell Goel Captain Lambert Furlag Hevet lev goig noch Gam Toma nalag Is kawalad namunig Nu fear go marid bio Nar hanig sheet nar dim palagus kaurulin sugyo Maris dacker partage triaka Na clanabor the yvert On our malte duchish delish Vinegar sin shuria verowing Do hanig an hierochnat going Kedes mila lech An erid hien ali going Evorim kart wear Soevnes lay near to good dive Garvul merbeles ferha Shame lenar shilu felis karparvar in herulay Berskele soas khanmun Arun yell sustor Es in shin skel fui khogayf gwillen skjur shnargor Mar is molana fern fjan gal Agus anner village bunte Agus ogar klishte lofer San Jorwen fjord Mon lenner en mon reire Nor dain maron glow Way haran granta grain var Evagert kunar gor Dagadur go trashin Agus nertar night nar dimple Ach gramach rina leinig Bieda dain an tinne bio Schnee
Go dríochtú leire gur mí mad. Okay, we will move over now to Anne Dunn. Anne, I'm going to ask to unmute you. How are you, Anne?
Hiya. So mine is going to be much like short and a completely different kind of song. It's from Maria Dunn, that's sometimes gone to the Goleen. You might know her, some of you might know her. Very short. Anyway. Came a traveller to my door, said he had a sail on war. I said, what have you come here for? Do you think that I've forgot? Last time you sold to me your wares, it left me cold, it left me scared. I'd rather pay for peaceful cares than all your gaudy wars. The last time war that you sold to me was anything but victory. I watched it all on my TV, deception's golden spoon. And for a moment I believed that war was like a clever thief, takes evil out and good it leaves, but no more will I be fooled. This line you sell seems clean and bright, but when I hold it to the light, I can't ignore its awful blight. It's rotten to the core. Manufactured by your hand and woven in with freedom's strand, exported then to foreign lands, it's still a bloody war. That's it.
Fabulous, Anne. Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to get our next song from Rita Gallagher, and I must commend Rita. She had a guest spot over in the Malahide Traditional Singer Circle this evening, and she managed to squeeze us in as well. So thanks very much for being with us, Rita.
Oh, thanks, Sarah, and I'm so delighted to be here. I'm sorry this is the last one, and thanks very much for having me as your guest earlier on in
our pleasure
in those sessions. I'll have a go at singing the Bun on Bui. Bun on Bui that ne'er broke out on a drinking bout, might as well have drunk. For his bones lie thrown on an agate stone, where he lived all alone like a hermit monk. Bun on Bui, I pity your lot, though they say that a sort like myself was cursed. I was sober a while, but I'll drink and be wise, in case I might die in the end of thirst. It's not for the common bird that I would mourn, the blackbird, the corncrake, or the crane, but for the bittern that shy and apart, and drinks in the marsh on the lone of drain. If I had known you were near your death, while my breath held out, I'd have run to you, till a splash from the lake of the sun of the bird, your soul would have stirred and waked anew. My darling, she told me to drink no more, or my life would be o'er in a very short while. But I told her 'tis drink brings me health and strength, and lengthens my road by many a mile. You see how the bird with a long, smooth neck would get his death from the thirst at last. Come, son of my soul, and drink your cup, or you'll get no sup when your life is past. In a wintering island by Constantine's halls, a bittern calls from a wineless place, and tells me that hither he cannot come till the summer is here and the sunny days. When he crosses the stream and wings o'er the sea, then a fear comes to me he may fail in his flight. Well, the milk and the ale are drunk, every drop, and the drum won't stop our thirst this night. Jenny.
Fabulous, Rita. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Okay, we'll get the next one from Bree Kelly. Bree, I'll ask to unmute you. How are you,
Rita,
Bree?
that was lovely. I'm good. I'm off to my first live concert tonight, so I'm very excited. So I'm running away right after I sing. But I'm very glad to be here. And thank you all so much for sharing your songs and your joy in singing. It's been really wonderful. And now I've made myself teary, which is going to make it hard to sing. Will you hire with me? Tambo, tambo. Will you hire with me my heart and my Joe? Will you hire with me? Say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. What will the wages be, mistress? £2, 5 shillings, tambo, tambo. £2, 5 shillings, my heart, my Joe. £2, 5 shillings, say you and say I. No, what a rattling young widow am I. That's too little wages, mistress. Then £2 10 shillings, tambo, tambo. £2 10 shillings, my heart and my Joe. £2 10 shillings, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. What will I eat, mistress? Sowens and eels, tambo, tambo. Sowens and eels, my heart and my Joe. Sowens and eels, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. That's too slippy a diet, mistress. Then potatoes and beef, tambo, tambo. Then potatoes and beef, my heart, my Joe. Then potatoes and beef, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. Where will I lie, mistress? You'll lie in the loft, tambo, tambo. You'll lie in the loft, my heart and my Joe. You'll lie in the loft, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. But the rats might bite me, mistress. Then you'll lie with the wains, tambo, tambo. You'll lie with the wains, my heart and my Joe. You'll lie with the wains, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. But the wains might kick me, mistress. Then you'll lie with me, tambo, tambo. Then you'll lie with me, my heart and my Joe. Then you'll lie with me, say you and say I. Oh, what a rattling young widow am I. That wouldn't be right, mistress. Then we shall be married, tambo, tambo. Then we shall be married, my heart and my Joe. Then we shall be married, say you and say I. And oh, what a rattling young widow am I. I'm as good as hired.
Fabulous, Brie. Thank you so much. Run off to your concert. You've done your shift.
Everybody.
Thanks for being with us, Brie. Okay, folks, slowly approaching the end here. We're going to get our next song from Deirdre Ní Bhúna. Deirdre, I'm going to ask to unmute you.
Hiya. It has just been such a pleasure tonight, hasn't it? But some sorrow there too. I think, yeah, it's really interesting. But I was wondering what to sing, and I thought, will I be super cheery or will I be? So I'm going to kind of go for the middle. Dervla sparked something for me when she started talking about the connection between Phil Filaruno and the Queen. So we're going to have a big conversation about that. But right for now, I have a song that's been running around in my head, really because I've been working with Cathal and with Alan McDonald. And of course, Alan is from the Moydart area, and the Braes of Lochiel comes from that area. It's a pipe tune originally. So here we go. It's got a very old kind of style to it, but I think it's probably a late 19th century song, a lovely chorus. So those of you that know it, I'm sure you will join in. Oh, hey, Skunjade. Oh, hey, be Harish. Good Amish numbo. Faram Bjolchon Nanir Iovaho. Snapper Rio. He hadn't no go. Oh, Iovaho. Go in the shambo. Faram Bjolchon Nanir go Brailoch Hill. Faram Bithia Solein rangan Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Gabrai Lochiel Faran before so long is Arabic Nastuk Agaluva Ranga Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho is Arabic Nastuk Hagaluvaranga Avenamilchon Ugmien hut Mayalu Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Avenanul tree Ag me hen gut Mayalu nach trig Get the beter going jaloch Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Mayalu nach trig Get the beter going jaloch Mahi gribridge ban a hart pianoch Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Gur mahi gribridge ban a hart pianoch Ma egi gun tolag nan garum hulmialach Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Ma egi gun tolag nan garum hulmialach Is staitje chi javin Yanoch Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho O H Skunjage O H me Harish Go inish numbo Varam biochonamir Iovaho Sna Rio I Harnogu O Iovaho Sinead.
Fabulous, Deirdre. Thank you so much. Okay, we will hear next from Nora Rhodes. Nora, I've asked to unmute you there. We have you.
Hi.
How are you, Nora?
I'm well, thanks. I'm very glad to be here, although I am sad that it's not going to continue to be online, because certainly the online ones are much easier for me to get to. But thank you very much for organizing all of this and for leading all these sessions, Dara. It's really been wonderful. And thank you all for singing. It's been amazing to hear all of you. So since it's October, I brought Halloween by Violet Jacob because it's almost Halloween. So. The totty luftens nearly through, they're plowing where the barley grew, and after dark round ilka stalk, you'll hear the horsemen stand and crack. O Lachlan, but a man do you. A man fu often we hae seen, 10,000 stars kicked down atween the naked branches and below, Beth fair and bothy hae their show, although the lights o' Halloween. There's bairns wi' geysers at their tail, clearing the doors wi' runes so kail, and will you'll hear the screeks and skirls o' lassies with their drooked curls, bobbing for apples i' the pail. The bothy fire is looping het, a new hide horseman's kissed is set, right o'er the lone war by the blaze. The olden stood that kept your place. I canna fall to see it yet. But gin the old folks' tales are right, and geese come hame on Hallows night, oh friends, what would I give to feel your axe, your hand to me, atween the dark and Connell light. Awa in France across the way, the wheelets burn on Ilco grave, and you and me their low hae seen. You'll maybe get your Halloween, yond war you're lying with the lave. There's drink and duffin, song and dance, and ploys and kisses get their chance. But Lachlan man, the place I see is where your old case used to be, and the lights o' Halloween in France. Thank you.
Fabulous, Nora. Thank you so much. It is just we have just one more singer from the scheduled singers to sing. It will be Declan Coyne. He'll sing us a finale song in just a minute or two. I am succumbing to peer pressure, and I will sing one song before we go, and then I might just say a few words before we sign off. But I think Cathal McConnell's presence has been felt quite a bit this evening. He's actually. He's in Ireland. He's about 10 miles away from the centre in a hotel at the moment. But we'll learn more about that in a while. This is one of Cahill's. A fitful sleep the landlord had, made din and chatting not of his choosing. His daughter till the morning light, abusing those who sat there boozing. Oh, there's the day, it's not the day, it is the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say, it's only the moon to guide the rover. Come, landlord, join us in the snug, all drowsy thoughts of slumber scorning. There's not one drop in jar nor jug that we won't drain before the morning. Oh, there's the day, it's not the day, it is the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say. It's only the moon to guide the rover. I'll stay in bed, the landlord said, for if I get up, you'll go out quicker. So drink your fill of swipes and swills, but not one drop of my good liquor. Oh, there's the day, it's not the day. It is the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whatever you say. It's only the moon to guide the rover. This tavern has my socks and shoes. The landlord has my coat and breeches. By morning I've no more to lose, so I'll go snooze amongst the ditches. Oh, there's the day, it's not the day. It is the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whatever you say. It's only the moon to guide the rover. But I've money left to treat a friend. Here's my last guinea upon the table. So let's tilt the barrel upon its head, and let's be singing whilst we're able. Oh, there's the day, it's not the day. It is the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whatever you say. It's only the moon to guide the rover. Cathal McConnell. Well, folks, we are just about there. Like I say, we'll have one more song from Declan Coyne just to finish us off. How can I put this all into words? Thank you all so much for sticking with us through this whole thing. I was thinking back to the day to our first session with Muireann Nic Owlev as the guest singer, and I recall her inviting her two daughters in to sing the chorus of a song, and it was so beautiful. And I knew then that we were really we were onto something special, and really we haven't had a bad night since the beginning. And it's not just down to me; it's down to all of you coming along, and to the faceless and nameless heads behind the scenes in the Séamus Ennis Arts Centre. They are Emma Corcoran and Shane. I wonder, let's get them to unmute and say hello. Shane is there somewhere. He's hidden his face, but I wonder if he can switch the camera.
Hi.
Emma, say hello.
Hi. Hi, everybody. It's been a lovely night. Thank you all so much. And I've emailed you all individually tonight, so check your inboxes. We're inviting you to our birthday this Friday. Yes. So all the details are on that. It's Shane an online celebration, thank you, COVID, but you know yourself. We'd love to have you all along anyway.
Hey, folks. Thanks so much for all the input, all the fantastic songs, all the great stories, all the bit of crack over the last few months and years. It's been fantastic. Hope to see you all in the centre at some stage over the next couple of years. And thanks so much to McDara. We could have done it without him.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. And as Emma and Shane have put in the chat there is the 20th anniversary, which will go out on YouTube and Facebook. Is it next Friday?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a wonderful collection of performances from different performers from all parts of the world, and they've put a ton of work into it, and I guarantee it's going to be a great night. And we did sing Happy Birthday to Alberta earlier, but it's also someone else's birthday. Not quite Séamus Ennis, but it's the 20-year anniversary of the centre being open, and it's such a vital resource for traditional music in Dublin. There's really nowhere else like it, so if we could all join in a chorus for Séamus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Séamus. Happy birthday to you. Thanks so much, folks. And as usual, at the end of all these sessions, if you can spare a few quid to support a centre like the Séamus Ennis Arts Centre, that put its funding into the traditional arts and into great events like this and the anniversary concert that we'll be seeing, please, there's a PayPal link in the description there. It'll also be out in YouTube and Facebook land for anybody watching there. Also, once again, I know the pandemic's been a very hard time for everybody, but if you can afford it, if you haven't been too badly financially impacted by the whole thing, that would go a long, long way. So I will pass over to Declan Coyne now to sing us the last song. But really, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything. It's been a wonderful time. Declan, do we have you? There we go. We have you there.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. These buttons, I'm not great on the buttons. Yeah, thanks a million, Dara. It's been a pleasure joining your session all season. So best of luck to you, whatever happens after this. This is a Bob Courtman song that I learned from Sarah Gray probably 35 years ago. And it's self-explanatory. It's the last minstrel show. Posters peeling underneath last summer's morning glory vine. Old white hat, a stump of cigar, and an empty bottle of wine. Lay me down, Carolina, lay me down. Don't wanna wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Banjo's got a broken string. Don't expect I'll get to fix it now. Don't get no more chance to sing. I'm rusty anyhow. Lay me down, Carolina. Lay me down. Don't wanna wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Daddy Bones is dead, I guess. You probably don't know or care. Frank and Archie's gone away somewhere I don't know where. Lay me down, Carolina. Lay me down. Don't wanna wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. The money and the crowd ran out before we reached our last town. This show done played its last run and brung the curtain down. Lay me down, Carolina, lay me down. Don't wanna wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Don't know where we go from here. Come to that, I just don't care. Maybe we'll go to a better place, and the minstrel show will be there. Lay me down, Carolina, lay me down. Don't wanna wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Sing me one slow, sad song for this
one last old time before they close a minstrel show. Oh!
Well done, Declan.
For a real guitar.